I give you permission to be the person that in the midst of difficult life says no to second helpings.
You have to be vain to be fit, to really take this seriously, want to be thin, exercise, vanity. All vanity, as Solomon says.
You're so vain.
But is this true? Is this true?
It can be. But I think a lot of people use that as an excuse not to lose weight and get fit because they don't want the perception that I'm vain. I'm really into myself.
And that's what we're hitting on today. Because ultimately, we're not trying to sound mean here, but we want to slap that out of them. Is that right?
Slap it right out of their mouth.
Is that right?
You know, I
want to
don't
thinking?
want to act like that doesn't happen, but I do want to eliminate it as a lot of people will use it as an excuse.
So talk to us. Break it down for us.
Well, I think of one friend of mine who for years was really big, had a lot of weight to lose, and he would say, I just don't want my life to be all about weight loss. I don't want to always be thinking about food. I don't want this to be a big thing in my life. And I was like, bro, it's going to kill you. You know, not doing anything about it's going to kill you. But in his mind,
oh, get him a cough drop.
In his mind,
he's choking up already.
It was not the thing for him to do.
Was vanity an aspect of that for him?
Actually, I like this one better. These are little Haribo mints. You put it in and you chew on it, and boom, it blasts any cough you got.
I tend to not want a super strong blast personally, so I'll say.
If I got a cough,
you want the blast. You want the blast. So, do you feel like that friend that you just referred to, in his mind, it's if I start going really hard with this, lose all the weight that I need to lose, and start exercising, I'm gonna potentially be vain?
Vain?
Too self-focused?
Yeah, too self-focused.
Because I could be pouring out in these other areas of life and doing all this good stuff for
other people.
For my family, for other people. I could be investing in all these things, so I'm just going to let my health suffer.
Right. And almost like it's a selfless act. I'm going to be more loving by not taking care of myself.
Wow, now that's deep.
And do things for other people. I know.
That's deep.
And man, I got to be fair. There are vain people that lift weights. There are vain people that eat really healthy.
That are a little too self-obsessed.
There are vain people that are way too obsessed with how am I looking? How am I doing? And unfortunately, we bring these two things together and we allow ourselves to fall into this place that's a deceptive thing. The way I'm looking at it, I think the way you're looking at it, it's a deceptive thing. It's like now I've got this. Not only do I have an excuse, I have a good reason for not exercising.
Well,
I don't lift weights.
I think about when I was working and seeing the 21-day transformation, the people coming through it, and I felt like it wasn't that uncommon to get the mothers. And I praise God for mothers, man. They pour it out for their kids, but seeing the mothers that would be overweight, and in their minds it's all about my family, it's all about my kids, I'm constantly pouring out, and so yeah, I'm overweight, but what else am I gonna do? I'm not gonna take away from my family by focusing on myself.
Yeah. I remember one lady came in for an assessment and she was with her daughter. She was about 100 pounds overweight, and we're talking, and I get used to hearing the same thing. Yep. So I'm like, I know what she's going to say. I know where she's at.
You have a heart of stone.
No, but so she's kind of explaining, I was the homecoming queen and telling me about this, and my daughter's with me. She's really fit and into athletics, going to get a scholarship, and she's really into her kids and her family, and the family had a business they were into, and it's like, so, but she was 100 pounds overweight. So she's having to make a decision. And her daughter's sitting there saying, Mom, I think you ought to do this.
Yeah.
But what's her mindset?
It's kind of like, Mom, you can take you can take a little bit of your attention off of us kids and put it on yourself, and because I want to see you get a hold of your weight. Please.
And I sit here and I'm seeing this daughter being gracious with her mom and thinking inside her daughter saying, Mom, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You don't think we want you to be healthy? and that's a lot of family, but they're gracious with their kids, your parents, whoever it is. You don't want to just slap them. That's our job.
That's your job.
You know, the daughter, I'm sitting here, and me and the daughter both are thinking, Mama, what in the world? You should have never got to this place. Here you are in this guy's office that wants to help you lose weight. Jump on this opportunity you have. But so often we're like, yeah, I don't know if it makes sense. Everything I have going on, and I have empathy for that. But it only goes so far, and then you're like, hey, you're going to have to be honest at some point.
You're going to have to be honest with yourself, and yes, we get you may be struggling to find the time to prioritize certain things, but you're 100 pounds overweight, and that's on you. That's you consuming too much food. That's not like a time, I have so little time. No, like it takes time to put food in your... Am I going too far?
Yeah. No, I think that is part of it, because I think a lot of people have this idea of what it would take for me to be healthy and fit. It's like, man, that would be a lot of work.
That's what I'm trying to say.
A lot of work, when in fact, that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, how much work is it?
It's a little.
Well, how much work is it to say no to a second helping?
And that was my point, even though it maybe came across a little harsh. That's perfectly said. How much
that's
work?
The thing.
Because when you're 100 pounds overweight, that's second helping.
You're having second helpings?
So how much time, how much work does it take to say no to that second helping? To say no to those snacks after 8 p.m. while you're sitting down watching your show?
Yeah. We're just being real here.
We are.
We're being real.
Unfiltered.
And people should be seeing this, and it should be hitting them between the eyes, and they should be saying, they're doggone right. What the heck have I been doing? I mean, that's what I expect people to think when they see this. It's like, yeah, we're just speaking plain here.
Well, if you didn't...
Who's walking around that heavy...
Yeah.
With anything other than, I'm not saying they don't have other issues in life. Of course you do, which is part of the reason you don't want to do it, because I got this problem over here, I got this going on. Now you want me to go do CrossFit for 2 hours a day and do keto. Nope. That's not why you're 100 pounds overweight, because you haven't been doing CrossFit and keto. That is not why you're 100 pounds overweight. You're 100 pounds overweight for reasons we can discuss.
Addressing. And if you didn't get canceled after your video from last week, talking about the girl that wasn't happy. She was not happy with you.
She wanted a refund, and we didn't say on that I gave her a refund.
No, you said in the video. I rewatched it. You said you gave her the refund.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, some people seem to ask.
But that episode, if you made it through without getting canceled, you'll be fine here when we get a little spicy.
You rewatched it?
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. I mean, most of the time. Oftentimes, I will rewatch.
Of course.
These episodes. So I feel like we've gotten a little off topic, but we've moved into another good lane, which is just kind of the excuses of being too busy and stuff. But initially, it was the vanity.
The movie Shallow Hal. Remember that?
It was on TV recently.
And he fell in love with the girl, and all she saw was her heart. And she was very physically attractive, right? It was Gwyneth Paltrow maybe or something.
It was Gwyneth.
And then, but everybody else saw this really morbidly obese girl that was breaking chairs and things.
Oh, yes.
And it was like, let's just look at the heart. I think that show had a lot of validity. And I do think we tend to look at the outward too much. No question.
Okay, good.
But please, don't be the person that says, see, that's why I'm going to, almost as a badge of honor, not care.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to not care. I'm going to eat whatever I want. I'm going to show how non-vain I am.
That moves into the body positivity movement, which really is detrimental and doing great harm.
Great harm.
Great disservice.
It is a joke. Now, having said that, yes, there is value in looking to the heart. Look past the weight. But don't look past your health. Don't look past how it's going to shorten your life. Let's be honest in the midst of this.
We need a whole video dedicated to the body positivity movement.
Okay.
Don't we?
I'll do it.
Don't we?
Probably.
Are you ready to tackle that? Because, man, it's an interesting one.
You know, and there's a deep part of this that I wasn't even sure if I wanted to get into it, but pull me back if you don't think we should go here yet. But there are underlying things in our lives that make things difficult for us. Anybody that's addicted to anything, which is, in my opinion, most people have unhealthy attachments or addictions.
Okay.
there's something going on in your life that's not helping. It may have happened when you were born. It may have happened when you were 10. It may have been your childhood. It may have been what happened when you were in Iraq. Whatever it is, there are things. But the problem I see, and the way I see it, is this. Some people think, I'm not going to be able to lose weight and get healthy until I deal with all of those things. And I think that's a mistake. Should you deal with those things? Best you can. Should you pray about those things? Best you can. Will God help you with those things? I believe He will. Mm-hmm. But hey, you got married as a mess. Yeah. You had kids as a mess. You worked a job for 20 years as a mess. Guess what else you can do? Lose weight and get fit.
And as Christians, we come to God with our messes rather than saying, I got to clean myself up before I step
mess.
Before I step into church.
Bring your mess.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
We had a close friend, and this kind of reminds me, she had weight to lose, and ultimately she said, I'm on a plan. I'm losing it. But then a little while into her plan, she said, life is crazy right now. I'm putting my plan on pause until life settles down.
Yeah.
Is it that a little bit of...
Sure. That's why
I got to get this figured out before I refocus on losing the weight.
Yes, and what that makes me think of is this idea here. Give yourself permission to be that person.
To be the obsessed.
To be the person that does it anyway. Because I think we're like, my life is so difficult right now. I got to put this on hold as if that's not who you are, right? I'm going to be this person that has to deal with difficulties on my life and never have it together. And I, again, there's empathy for that. But think about it. Is it okay for you to be the person that walks every day? Is it okay for you to be the person that says no thank you to a second helping of dessert?
And it may cause some shockwaves in your circles, in your family circles, in your circle. So what you're saying, give yourself permission to be that person. Yeah, because you may not have permission right out of the gate from the other people in your circle when they see you walking and you weren't walking a week ago and they're not walking and now suddenly you're walking. Oh, are you better than us? You're a little too obsessed, Jan, because you're taking this so seriously. And you're not eating that cake at the birthday party? We're all eating it.
Oh, you need body positive.
Yeah, we're all eating
that cake. We're all eating it. You trying to condemn us and judge us?
Jan, don't be that.
You're
person.
The thinnest one here.
No, you're already the thinnest
you're
one.
Already too thin.
Listen.
Are you sick?
You see.
Sorry. Okay. So anyway,
give yourself permission to be that person.
Give yourself permission to be that person.
We Trainer Joe and Trainer Paul.
I'm giving you permission.
Say it to him one more time.
I give you permission to be the person that in the midst of difficult life says no to second helpings.
Chills.
I'm giving you permission.
Chills.
Wow.
That was a good part.
That
was a good part.
Did I talk about the idea that we can self-sabotage?
Hey, I'm not making light of that part. What Trainer Joe just did there, giving you permission,
it's real.
It's real.
It's a Tony Robbins moment.
That's real. That's real. That's good. Some people have not felt like they've had that permission.
If you like Tony Robbins,
you just got that permission.
It's sincere.
I thought that was really good. For real, I like that part. Go on.
We do need to give ourselves permission. Yeah. The self-sabotage, how some people, I remember one lady I was working with, she said she wanted to go see her sister in California, but she couldn't because she was too big for the airplane seat. And once I got to know her, I realized she really doesn't want to go see her sister, and this gives her an excuse. I'm too big to fit in the airplane seat. She didn't want to go see her sister. Some people, and you may say, you're getting out of your lane, Joe. I do that sometimes. But some people eat because they're afraid of a relationship. They're like, this person will like me if I'm lighter. And they self-sabotage. I probably have done that in areas of my life where you're comfortable being this way, but if you were too successful, that would be difficult and challenging and scary for you. And I think we do that with various things. And we were talking earlier about something may have happened when you were little and makes this happen. You may have PTSD and contributes to this, but we've got to get to where we give ourselves permission, even though we don't have things figured out. You may be self-sabotaging. You need to pray and say, God, don't let me do that.
Yeah.
That's not of you. That's not what you want from me. And stop playing God. Stop thinking, I've got to. No, you don't do all this. You need to hold food lightly. Ask God to bless what you're doing in your life because you do want to honor him. You don't want it to be all about you. But see, that's not true when you say, oh, if I got to do the keto lifestyle and do CrossFit 2 hours a day, that's too much about me. Well, you don't have to do that. You will have to do something, and it's an excuse to say, I'm not going to do it because it would be me being too into myself. And we use that as an excuse to not do it.
And even working, observing the program, working with you in the past, and seeing the husband and wife dynamic and how sometimes that would genuinely cause rub when one of them would start taking it really seriously because the other one is so used to not this person taking it so seriously.
Suddenly, you're making me feel bad. You're losing weight. You're looking good. You're buying new clothes, and I'm over here eating second helpings.
And so it's going to probably take, if that's you, and I'm sure there will be people that resonate with that, it's going to take some communication. It's going to take you being gentle and patient.
Yeah, just like everything else you have to do in life. This one's going to have work too.
This is important, and you're responsible for your health. This video got deep.
Yeah, I thought it might be good to tell one story about Kurt doing this.
Please do,
Pastor Kurt.
Give us a success story.
Yeah, because Pastor Kurt came into this, and he would say, I was raised in a house where we didn't think much about this. We ate till I was 40 years old. I just ate.
Example.
I didn't think about it. I was into ministry, loving people, running a church, being a pastor, being a dad. Why am I going to do this? And then his knees were kind of hurting. He'd been playing basketball when he was younger. He's a real tall guy. And he says, I've realized that anything that's important to me, I need to be intentional. I've been living by accident in this area of my life. Now he's very intentional. And I guarantee you, some people say, now you're vain. Now you care too much about that.
Yeah.
He's probably extended his life by 20 years. And he's, in many ways, more respected because he's not using and abusing food. He's showing some self-discipline. He's doing it as a really to honor the Lord and his walk with God. He's saying, I got to invite God. He would tell you this. He said this. He said, I've got to let God into all the areas of my life,
Amen.
Including this one. And I think that's true. I think when we act like, well, I don't want to do that because I'm vain, really what we need to say is, God, I want you in here and you lead me in this. And if you want me to do anything in particular, I'll do it. If you want me to hold food more lightly, I will, because he does.
Trainer Joe, is it fair to say, because I'm thinking about tweaking the title or the thumbnail text, is it fair somewhere to put, this could be the most important weight loss video you've ever seen?
Wow.
I mean, because this got very deep. You guys in the comment section, how did you feel about this video?
Hey, that's some high praise there from my...
I'm not necessarily saying this is the best video you've ever put out on your YouTube channel, your podcast, but I think there was some really deep truths that were hit on, and I think there are going to be people that have had those thoughts of, no, I need to spend this time on other people. I can't focus on myself, that are 70 pounds overweight and need to lose it, and in doing that, they are blessing those other people, and they are blessing themselves.
So true.
I just
can't you can't give what you don't have, and that's why so many. I'm sorry to tell you, so many people don't talk about this in ministry. It's because I don't have that. I can't talk about it because I have no clue what to do with this.
So I mean, is it fair to say that the truths in this video were very deep? I could see them potentially transforming someone's life. You guys that stuck around to this portion in the video, this late in the video, how did you feel about it? Because to me, there was some really good stuff. Comment below. Seriously, let us know your thoughts. If there's been something said in this video that really hit home with you, let us know what it was, and encourage other people that are on this journey in the comment section. Trainer Joe, train your brain
and transform your body.